Oh, I'm on. Travis Wayne Goodsell. Yeah, we're doing a video, aren't we? Amazon now has downloads available. And I thought, oh, if only this were true. If only. Because, if you're unfamiliar, we used to have film reels for movies that you can only watch in the movie theaters. And then movie cameras for home video recordings became available. And then videotapes came with it. Well, they had the film reel videos first, but those weren't really available for the public per se. You had to be filthy rich for those. But video cameras came around with VHS tapes as they beat out beta. And people were able to record TV shows from a VHS recorder, and then they came out with DVDs on the DVD discs, and so they came out with a device that you could transfer the VHS to DVDs. I was never able to get one that was within my price range before it was unavailable for me. But I instead worked on acquiring all the DVDs of the VHS tapes I had. And then Congress, for the stupidest reason in the universe, decided to sign a law having us go digital on our TVs, so that the analog TVs were obsolete, and so they provided free digital converters for our analog TVs. It's just the stupidest law in the world. And it was in 2000, end of 2008 or 2009. The church had me disappeared for 6 years during the transition phase. And so I didn't really experience it. But I knew it was coming. And as I knew that we were going to have an economic collapse because of my work as a postman at the time that I was disappeared, which, yes, is a particular count in the lawsuit I have against the church. And so I get out, and I get access to a computer. This one, by the way, $40, which was all the money I had, because being brand new out, that's all they would give me. And tried to become familiarized with the internet once again, as the dial-up disc, AOL, was not very good, as apparently my dad had contracted a virus on his computer, as Hotmail rejected his net nanny. Net nanny disapproves of Hotmail as pornographic. Just hilarious. And so I got a a virus along with it, and my computer was worthless after that. I'm hearing beeps. It's most likely from out there, but I'm hearing it from my bedroom. So why am I not hearing it from there? And so I became familiarized with digital once again. I was able to upload my CDs onto my older computer, and I was wishing that one day they would do that for DVDs. So just as we have an MP3 playlist, we'd have an MP4, as they now call it. And unfortunately, the DVD movie industry did not want to follow the CD MP3 industry, as so many singers were losing so much millions. They were having to live on millions of dollars rather than tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. The poor people suffering. Sell at a cheaper price and people will spend more money, and thus you will get more money. It's a very simple concept and business strategy, and yet nobody that goes into business as an education and a career field knows of that secret. That's why Amazon is a complete and utter failure. Bezos, yes, $100 billion, and he's a failure. Because now, instead of digital, they're going to streaming. And so Amazon is a part of that streaming process now, as others are trying to come up with channel sites for streaming. And so Disney Plus and DC Universe are others, and the regular stations, ABC, Fox, NBC, CBS. CBS has their exclusive All Access, so if you want to watch the good stuff, you have to pay for the All Access. So yeah, you get Picard and Discovery, is that what it was called? Yeah, coming out with season 2 sometime soon this year, and as well as others. As I was given a survey, will you be watching these? Duh, that's why I bought it. And sci-fi and other stuff. And so they still didn't have it to where I could have a digital format, an MP4 format on my computer, and that I can transfer to a storage device and so forth. So the sound you just heard is my converting of DVDs into an MP4 format with a program converter, and they're trying to do away with DVDs now, as our FYE in Taylorsville, the Crossroads Mall, might as well just call it the Travis Mall, and gone. The biggest store of FYE, gone. And apparently, since I was gone for 6 years, the one out in Fort Union, gone. I learned about that one and had been going there, but then found out that one of the guys in the older singles ward bishopric was the manager there. And so I didn't really want to go to that one anymore. I might watch an R-rated movie and he'll tell the bishop, and the bishop will have me excommunicated. And so the other one when it was Media Play. My neighbor worked there. And I never really associated with my neighbor. But my dad sure seemed to think I did. Because he... No, I won't go into that. But, yeah, they're doing away with DVDs. Amazon, for me, is now the last place to obtain DVDs. I could go through FYE's online site. Takes 2 weeks for delivery if they have the product. And so, streaming. And so how do you get your own copy from streaming? And so I saw on Amazon today, as I'm silencing the movie that I'm watching now, but I saw a download feature on it. Download? Is this real? Is Bezos being the first one in the field to do this? Oh, Bezos. Oh, is this for real? So I tried it out. Clicked download. Sent me to the Windows app for Amazon. And I went, uh-oh. And uploaded the app to the computer. And then had to go into the app to download the video. And then I looked around my computer to see if I can find it. Nope, it's in the cloud. Bezos, the 100 billionaire, chose to have his own version of an Amazon cloud. When cloud first came out, I refused to get it. I had bought a storage device, external storage device, that was a cloud, and oh my goodness. When I tried to transfer the files to another external device that was not a cloud, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, you do not want clouds. Clouds was a big mistake of an invention. Yeah, as I started reading reviews of clouds and listening to others talking about clouds, yeah, nobody likes the clouds. The clouds was the biggest humiliating failure that could ever be conceived of, because you cannot access it on your devices and transfer it from device to device. You have to have the cloud on all your devices, conforming you to the cloud rather than you being able to conform the media that you're using to your use. And it's the same thing with Word. They design it the way they want me to work it rather than having me design it how I want it to work. Very frustrating. But that's part of the social control that they're wanting to do on us. As YouTube also pulls this same kind of stunt. You will use our system the way we want you to use it, not as the way you want it to be used, even though we're calling ourselves YouTube, as it was intended in the beginning. And so, yeah, Amazon, what is $100 billion, which is petty cash for the church, by the way. Somebody had commented on a video today informing me that the cement that's being poured at the base of the Salt Lake Temple is going to cost the church $1 billion. Petty cash. I mean, that's not even... $1 billion is 1% of $100 billion, so it's petty cash for Bezos too. But the church has far more than $100 billion. $100 billion is what they just have in the tithing investment they've got dozens of other investment companies. So yeah, they're far, far beyond 100 billion. And so 1 billion for cement. Did we spend anything on that? Didn't we get it for free? So, yeah, 100 or $1 billion for cement is as if it were free for as rich as the church is. And so, yeah, I can't believe that Bezos would embrace a cloud system for his Amazon downloads. I've always avoided his music downloads because I've got YouTube. I can listen to YouTube. But I can't believe that as a 100 billionaire, he wasted his whole money on a Amazon cloud. Biggest joke in the universe. So, like I said, he's destroyed his own company. And you may think, well, I'm not a 100 billionaire. I want to be a 100 billionaire. It's those kind of corporate mistakes that prevent a company from being all that they can be. You know, even the church, as a criminal organization worth trillions, they're still making major mistakes, mostly because of the criminal operations. They could be making a lot more money and still being the good guys, but they chose the bad guys. And so, yes, even though trillions of dollars, they could be making, what's beyond trillion? Quadrillion, is it? Let's check. What number is after trillion? People have already searched for that. After a billion, of course, is trillion. Then comes quadrillion, yeah. Then quintillion, and sextillion, and septillion, octillion, nonillion, and decillion. So they use the Latin quattro, quinque, sex, septem, octum, novem, decum. And so, yeah, they could easily be in the quadrillions. I mean, that's, for us, unfathomable. And yet, it would be a simple thing to do. Merchandise! But the church refuses to do merchandise. The most they'll do is they'll allow the church members to purchase for 10 cents, or $1 now, I guess, with inflation, one of their portrait photos. They discouraged the company that tried to do Book of Mormon figurines because, you can't have an idol Jesus for kids to play with. Heaven forbid if kids should learn how to behave in the presence of Jesus by having a doll about Jesus. It's the backwards concept of, we can't have boys play with girl dolls because they'll turn gay. We want them playing with boy dolls so they become manly and abusive. Turns out that boys who played with boy dolls became gay. And those like me who played with the girl dolls and the Barbie fashion blades turned out just fine and normal, right? I'm normal. So, yeah, it just blows my mind how corrupt people think that they want more money. So they screw over the customers, they cheat their employees, and they just don't make the money that they think they're going to make, and eventually they collapse because of their corruption. Blockbuster Video, for example. worked at Blockbuster Video, utilized my business sense, and turned the company, that one store, with the help of the manager, because he liked my ideas, and he was the one who had to give the orders, and so we took us out of the red, because that's what's our store finances. We were in the red month after month after month, year after year after year. And so the company wanted to do away with us, and they built the one on 600 West, 600 South, somewhere like that. And I was on the Blockbuster one, just on 56th or wherever. It's now a check cashing place. But we turned it around with my business idea. We were on our way to becoming $1 million operation. We were sucking the customers away from the brand new store that they wanted to be the $1 million store, and from the others, and from Hollywood Videos that were also around us. And all of them were starting to go into the negative, as we were now the $1 million store. It was not complicated. And if I had full access to do what I wanted, easily, far more and greater. But nope, they didn't want that. They wanted to shut us down, and so I got fired. They had to fire the manager first, so that they can then come after me. Because the manager was training me to be a manager, and so when they got rid of the manager, they then went back to the old records where I was being trained by him to be the manager, and they said, "Oh, you were training to be a manager? Oh, bad. You're fired." So yeah. And now Blockbuster is completely bust. I guess there's still the one in Oregon. I thought that went down too, but with the coronavirus, they opened back up again, so I found out about them. But yeah, it's not a complicated thing to provide people with what they want. It's not complicated. That's capitalism. But we just don't want to practice capitalism in America. We just want to say we do. Supply and demand is what fuels capitalism. But nope. Instead we have extortion economics, or slavery economics, where the corporations are the slave owners, the employees are the slaves, and the slaves make all the money for the corporations, and nobody thinks anything of it because it doesn't use the word slavery or plantation. The Amazon plantation. Become a Prime member today at our Amazon plantation. But yeah, you heard the stories of Amazon's employees trying to apply for food stamps because they weren't making enough money. They could be making so much more if they would just cater to the needs of the public and treat your employees good. Well, I mean, if you have to use robotic technology and automated systems so that you don't hire the thousands of people that you do, yeah, okay, so be it. You'll still have customers coming to you because you're able to provide the products at a cheaper price, and the products will still be of higher quality. And that's how you get and keep customers. Of course, Bezos is trying I want to become a monopoly and everybody will be forced to come to me. And so I can treat them as crappy as I want. Like Facebook for social media. I'm going to sell your data to Russia. Yeah. How well did that go? He got away with it.